Okay, we'll start off with the deck list.
Alright, so let's start off with the real stars of the show. Flash lands Eisen Tiger, and Savage lands Blitz Tiger, and this is Eisen Tiger. I think I know since this is my deck. I'm running 3 of each. As you know, Flash lands can let you equip both items, and what's really nice is the natural penetrate of Blitz Tiger. So even if you have it equipped, if you're playing against a close center, you can still get the penetrate off, and then seal the deal with the 3 crit off Eisen Tiger. I see some people running 4 of each or 4-3, but thing is with Kamil as a 4 of, I was able to dual wield every single game at the at regionals, which is a little weird. I don't usually always get it, but yeah, like the longest it took me to equip was my 3rd turn. That was longest it took me in one of my games. And speaking of Kamil, my buddy, we of course are running 4 of the buddy. Kamil lets you search out an item when he's played, and if you have 2 items equipped, when he attacks you gain a gauge, which is really nice because as buddy, you'll gain a life, so you can equip Eisen Tiger basically for free because that costs a life, and he refunds the cost of himself or Blitz Tiger, depends on which one you equipped first. So basically, if you play him, you can equip both items basically for the cost of 1 gauge if he's your buddy. Let's see, next, moving on for the rest of the size 2s. I'm running 2 Revolution Knight Rebellius. Really, he's nice because he's a double pop. A size 1 if you have an item equipped, and size 1 or lower if you have an item equipped. If you have 2, size 2 or lower. So that's if nothing on their field has Soul Guard, you basically blow up their field. And if they only have 1 target, you can double pop it, so they can't negate the destruction. And 2 more Vlad Draculas. This card provides so much pressure. I used him more often than I thought I would, and by the time I got him out, he always had 3, 4. He had 5 crit once, although he didn't last long when he had 5 crit, obviously. Obviously, when he's on the field, he's going to be the first thing that people are going to want to destroy, because no one wants to eat that. That's it for my size 2s. For size 1s, I have 4 El Quixotes. El Quixote is a really nice card because he has like basically a negative gauge cost when you link attack with him, and the crit he does not have a call cost. He is free to call, and the fact that he can just stack crits if you combo him with Tetsuya right here, you can link attack. He'll go up to 2 crit, and then you can link attack with something else on your field, and now he's 3 crit. His crit stays until the end of the turn.
Also, if you have an adventure item equipped,
yeah, if you have an adventure item equipped, he gains the +1 crit and penetrate. He is nice because even when you attack with him, link attack with him, even if you don't have an item equipped, you'll still gain the 1 gauge off of that link attack. And speaking of Banana Boy, 3. I have 3 Tetsuyas. I like it as a 3 of because oftentimes I found myself having a field where it's like Tetsuya wasn't really ideal. For Knights, Tetsuya isn't really that necessary. He's better for more like when you're going in for the Weenie Rush, like with Shilavana. But still, he's always good because you can, if they're running a closed center and they got something big, you can link attack with Flash Tiger, or Blitz Tiger rather, and that's 2 opportunities to get an 8k attack there with penetrate. And right here is your fill in the blank. I ended up running LaZanya for his move effect because I ended up realizing I had a lot in the offense department and not a lot in defense department. So being able to have what basically amounts to 1000 Rapier with move is really nice, especially if you're running Rested Hotsprings. It basically guarantees that Hotsprings will go off if you have enough targets in your drop zone. Like I said, this is fill in the blank, so you can run basically whatever you want in this slot.
Options.
Yeah.
Shido, Adric.
I used to run Adric in place of LaZanya, but like I said, the Adric's good because he basically has 2 crits that split up, so that's 2 instances.
Yeah, wait, what do you call him? LaZanya?
Get out. He's LaZanya because all the spaghetti falls out of his pockets when he meets a girl. Here we have my boy, Tailed Incubus. This is the only dungeon enemy in the deck, and he puts in work. For those of you who don't know why he's so good, when he enters the field, you pay 2 life to search out any mission card you want, which will pretty much always be form of party unless you have something you're going for. But I've always searched out form of party. He's basically counts the mission card, and by the end of your turn, his cost is probably going to be refunded with all the mission cards you get off of him. It's really fucking cheese when you can have multiple copies of him in a hand at once, and you just basically set up your field. And now the secret MVP of the deck, Province Baron Shido. So this deck used to have such problems with closed center size 3 decks, and next comes along Miracle Impact, and guess what? Shido. He's so good.
Well,
so
I mean,
good.
it was a
Jude,
problem.
how good is Shido?
Screw that card, man. You might say 3 alone.
Well, he does.
Yes, we come
So I knew coming into this regionals that I was going to face Omni Modi, and Omni Modi, basically.
Wow.
I knew Omni Modi was going to be a thing, so I knew I don't have a lot of answers to Omni Modi. Well, I do now with Blitz Tiger, but Shido's just super good. He just bypasses them. He's like, yo, let me hook you up with a life, because when he hits, he gives you life. With Shadow Dive, you can just avoid any monster they have in the center, unless it's a Raging Spirit. Yeah, if this will force Star Dragon World to use their shields when they have a closed center, and if they
can't, but I mean.
No, Star Dragon World shields are when they are attacked. Dragon World shields are they need to have an open center. So basically, yeah. And next up for the spells, 4 Shalsanas, pretty standard. 1 gauge. We gain an attack, and we gain a life. Next up is 3 Pillar of Fires. 1 gauge, destroy a monster on the field with 6k or less defense.
Only if center's open.
Only if your center's open, but in this deck your center is going to be open unless you're playing LaZanya Boy. Next, because I have only 3 dungeon enemies in the deck, I ended up only playing 2 continues. Super good, but not as versatile in this deck as like a regular mixed deck. Now on to the stars of the spells. We got 4 mission card form of parties. Basically, you form a party, form another party, form another party, form another party, and you go in for teamwork or Hotsprings. I'm running 2 of each, the teamwork and Hotsprings. Hotsprings is good if you can get LaZanya out, because you basically at the start of their attack phase, it's like, oh, I don't want to get their monsters because they'll just get back something they want. So you move LaZanya to center, and they have to set off Hotsprings. The teamwork, you're going to do a lot of link attacking with this deck, so basically it rewards you for link attacking.
It's important to note that Hotsprings requires destruction by battle.
Yeah, so if they have an effect destruction, fucking rip.
Bloody King.
Rest in peace, sisters.
Yeah, Bloody King will fuck this card up, which is why I used to run 4 Hotsprings, but eventually I realized with this deck, I'm doing a lot more link attacking than I was with my old deck. So the teamwork put in work as a team. Finally, impacts. We have 2 Dead End Crushes. It's your 2 gauge, 3 damage Gargantua Punisher, basically. If you need an adventure on your field and any item equipped. For 2 gauge, you deal 3 damage and it cannot be reduced or negated. And finally, full trash. So these cards together are super good. Full trash basically says if you used your shields up, you're dead. Dead End Crush says if you haven't used your shields up, you're dead anyway. Basically, with these 2 in combination, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If you have both cards in hand, assuming they don't have Burn Nova, you basically win. Rest in pieces, they have Burn Nova, and you can't come back from it, but these 2 together are just so good, and I love this combination of impact so much, because you end the game you start by ending game 1, or game 2 if you lost game 1, rip. You put the fear in with one of them, and next game, they're gonna use their shields up to protect themselves from this. If you end with this, they're not gonna use their shields because they're scared of this, and you go in for Dead End Crush. Round 1, I went up against the Kaiserian player who ended up getting into top 8. I lost game 1, but game 2, I Dead End Crushed him. Game 3, I attacked with a 5 crit attack. No, it was Kamil and...
Well, you were creating Daze with the attack.
Yeah. Basically, he guarded a 5 crit attack from Savage Lance and Kamil, but that gave me enough gauge for full strash, and I had exactly enough crit on the field to kill him. So, that's it for the deck profile. You got your lances, your monsters. So here's the thing. The day before, I left my charger with Jude, and he said he said I could only get it back if I made top 8. So that's literally the only reason I made top 8. Goodbye.
Alright, now we're live.
And for side deck, we have... Guys, we're recording. For side deck, we have 2 more Shidos.
For maximum shadow
for
dive?
maximum shadow dive. Basically, if you got a lot of problems with size 3 closed centers, you're gonna want 4 of. And I put him into as up to 4 of twice during the tournament, and he put in so much work. Hit them for 2 and gain 1 off yourself. If you have 2 on the field, you keep rest in peace them. You'll notice during my main deck I only run 4 Shalsana and nothing else. Side deck we have 3 Cassiade Silence. I know it's Quiescence, but I can't pronounce that. Basically, my game 1 strategy was just face. Game 2, they're going to be expecting that again, so side out anything I don't need, like siding out Shidos against Hero World.
Yeah,
Shidos, rest in peace in Hero World. And Raging Spirits, too. I never fought Raging Spirits, though. That was, like, the #1 deck I was afraid of fighting, but didn't happen, so rip. I
think we said rip like 5 times.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about the deck, rip. Rip me or rip them, because, you know. 2 Rolling Stones.
One of us is dying, and it's happening very
yeah,
very fast.
it's one of us is going to die quickly. 2 Rolling Stones. If you haven't seen this card in forever and need a refresher, 2 gauge to destroy all monsters in the center, but 2 gauge to remove all soul of all cards in center and destroy them. I decided this in because Death Talika. I was right because first place was using Deep, but I was also wrong because no Death Talika.
But it is still nice if you're fighting a Soul Guard monster. Even with only 1 soul, you get something like Yamigeddon in the center.
Yeah.
And this becomes...
Yummy. Yummy for Yummy Ghetto. Speaking of,
oh yeah.
I used to run Cecilia's Spell Disarm in the slot here, but so it's 2 gauge, 1 life to destroy a card on the field. Cecilia's can only hit items and spells, but this, if there's a monster on the field that you have a problem destroying, or if they're using something like the Creation or another set impact, you can use this to destroy that super easily.
It's very important for you to deal damage each turn because you're basically on a timer.
Yeah.
You can only swing so much face. If there's something in the center that would waste the link attack, it's worth the investment.
Yeah. And lastly, 5th Omni
For swag.
Dragon Lord Drum. This was supposed to be a Tenbu, but I couldn't get it in time. But it ended up working out for me because once again in round 1 against the Kaiserion player who made top 8, I called Drum to field. He hits me down. I think I gained 2 life for some reason in that turn. But I was at 11 life, and basically he hits me down to 8. After that, after Jude drops something in the background.
Oh, your poor guy. At least it's clean.
So, Drum, I ended up not really using him for his effect, but more as a damage sponge. Because basically, if that guy hadn't hit Drum, he would have lost a couple monsters on his field, which he didn't want to lose. So Drum absorbed 6 damage from Kaiserion, because he got a double attack with Sawbird early. So that's 6 damage I did not take for the cost of 1 gauge. So that's super useful. I still would have preferred Tenbu, but even though Drum ended up working out better in the end. Also, I played a Drago Wizard player, Burn Wizard. That was fun. Even though I didn't get Drum out, but you know,
the idea that you could have is entertaining.
Yeah, because rip that guy. And that's basically everything. I got my phone charger, which is the most important thing. And I hope you...
advice to everyone trying to get to top 8.
Yeah, if you need to get into top 8, just lose your phone charger and have someone hold it over your head. Say, get into top 8.
Or else the phone charger gets it.
What's important about this phone charger has this little thing that doesn't fucking work. Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, you can cut out that last bit.
Yeah.